Time is relative.
Sveltekit has taken a really long time to build lately, but it recently hit 1.0, so will it live up to the expectations? Well, we'll see in this video. So we'll check out the routing, how easy it is to get started, deployment, then at the end of the video, we'll build a meal application that is guaranteed to make you hungry.
Very nice, sir.
This video was a ton of work, so please make sure to subscribe and like. So you can start by running this command from the terminal. Okay, so let's get started. Right now, I'm already in a folder called Mail App. I'm already in my desired folder, so I'm just going to click Control Backticks. And I'm going to paste in the command that I told you earlier. So this is going to create a folder called My App, but we can put the dot to signify the current directory. So click Enter. So it should ask you a bunch of questions. So let's go through the question easily. So it said use current directory. Okay, so we're going to use skeleton project. Yeah, I don't want to use the demo project. Okay, no, we don't want TypeScript. Okay, we want prettier, and that's the only thing that we want. So okay, so boom, it's already created this, but before we look at file structure, let's run npm I in the background. So npm install. So that's going to install the required dependency. So as always, the source is where we have all the things that we need. So we have the routes. So these are the pages. So let me explain the routing system in a minute, because it's a bit quite of confusing. So first of all, okay, we have our routes inside of here, and anything outside there is not a route. It might be a component, but it is not a route. The static has all our static assets, images, videos, logos, whatever you name it. Okay, we have the git ignore, that is to ignore some certain files when we're uploading, like node modules number 1, which is very big. Okay, we have npm else-rig. This is for prettier, that we install that extension that is going to help us to format by the package your JSON file, and you notice that everything is a dev dependency, which is super cool. Then we have the package.lock to signify that dependencies are installed. Then the svelte config allows us to add additional configurations, which are maybe if we want to come and deploy to Netlify, to Vercel, and rest. Why the vit config and its configurations about vit, I'm not going to go through that. Okay, let's turn back to the routing system. How does this route work? First of all, okay, now that our application has, so let's run npm run dev -- open. So okay, this is we're getting an error. So what is happening here? Okay, this is ESLint, by the way. Okay, this is ESLint. So what is happening here is that the page of svelte is linking to the home page, which is slash. So I'm just going to quickly use some JavaScript to explain it to you here. So script. So what is happening is that the plus page.svelte links to slash. So every single page must have this plus page. So if you wanted to make a route linking to the about page, so let's click this. Okay, then now we see our app. So if you wanted to make a route leading to the about page, you just simply come here, make a new folder, about, then what we'll put inside the about page, we'll put a plus page. Okay, then we can say, hi, this is the about page. And we could just easily link to that. Instead of linking to sveltekit.com, we could easily just link to /about. So if we look at it, oh, so it says this is the about page. So just remember, every single page you must put plus page of svelte. And if you wanted to link, we have to, the folder name will be the name of where we're linking to. So what if the route is not dynamic? Well, we'll do something else. So first of all, let's start building our mail application ASAP. So I'm going to say mail app. So this is going to be say it's going to say something like visit the visit the mail page. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a new folder here. We're going to call it mail, or we can call it mails. Okay, slash mails. Okay, we're going to call it mails, then plus page dot svelte. Oh, sorry, I spelled my svelte wrong. Why everything's just red, raising a red flag? Let's check it. Okay, everything's okay now. So if we come, so what we have to do from the first page, which is the index page, we will now link. So visit mail page, then we can slash mails, then mails. So this is where we talk about the second most important thing, data fetching. So what we're going to do is we're going to fetch the data on the server, then return it to the client. So how do we do that? It is not as it's easy as it's as easy. It's not as hard as it sounds. So we're going to say plus page.js, right? Okay. So inside this plus page.js, what do we want to do? This plus page.js, we can run it for almost every of them. So in about here, we can have plus page.js, but I don't think we can have on the index page. So what we do here is I will fetch on server side, then we return to the component. So first of all, we need to get the API. So the API is quite here, and I'm going to leave this link in the description down below. So the one I'm going to use is look up a single random mail. Okay, I'm going to copy this, and there's a little quiz here that I have for you guys. If you're going to be able to spot this, and tell me in the comment section down below. Okay, we're going to call this async function load. Okay, async function load. And what do we want to do here? We want to say constant res is going to be equal to response. Oh, sorry, constant mails is going to be equal to. Oh, sorry, constant mail res is going to be equal to await fetch. Yes, we can use fetch in the browser. This is provided by Sveltekit. So this is where the quiz comes in. Okay, so constant mail is going to be equal to mail res.json. And what we do is that we return the mail like this. We can just return it like this. So we can return anything like this. So what is the problem here? So if you can take a second or to try and notice the problem here. Okay, the problem is that we're not putting HTTPS. So this code will not work. So try this has got me a lot. So that's why I'm just telling you guys. So when we do this now, it's going to return to the page.js. So how do we receive that? Okay, we say export let data. And you're going to say that we didn't call it data. Yes, but it's inside there as data. Weird, right? So let's console the log it so that we know what we're receiving. So we click, let's hope it works. We come here, click on mails, inspect, come to the console, we see an object. We don't see it. Strange. So let's just quickly come to page.js, which is where we're supposed to get our random mail. Let's console log it before we send it, and let's see what we're sending to the browser. Save. Whoa, we see an empty object. Okay, this is supposed to be an await function. Sorry. Now I'm not going to console log it in terminal because it's a big object. So save this, refresh. You still see an empty object. Strange. Okay, sorry, silly me. We're supposed to add an export here. Okay, yeah, now we get it. So if we come here, we refresh. Okay, so we see that meal. So what is inside meals? We have a lot of it's an array that we have everything that's inside here. So what I'm very interested in is the string meal thumb. Look at it here, which is the image. So let's copy this, and we can even copy a YouTube video. So how do we access that? So it's already available to the page once it instantaneously loads. So accessing the data is going to be tricky. So first of all, we want to have an image, and the source, okay, we're going to go to data dot meals dot meals, or rather, what do we call it here? Sorry, it's going to be equal to data dot meals of 0 dot string meal thumb. Yes, this is how you access it, because this is data.mail, because everything we send here is going to be inside the data object, remember. So data.mail gets it, and the mails is an object array somehow. So if that makes sense. Okay, now we see our first. So wow, so we're making significant progress here. So let's just add styles quickly to keep this image in check. So width 300, height 300. Okay, nice. So what we want to do is we of course want the name of it. So that is going to be data.mail dot meal dot meals dot string meal. Okay, nice. So what we can do is that we can link to a read more in case the user wants to know more. So learn. So this is going to be an a tag. A tag. We're going to call this, but let's not put where it's linking to first, because this one is more complicated. So it's going to link to slash. This is what we're talking about before, dynamic route slash mail slash. Okay, so it's going to be string ID, or is it string ID? Let's check. Okay, sorry, it's ID mail. So we're getting every single mail has like an ID. That we want to get the mail ID. So let's just check it here. So as you can see, every single mail has an ID, so it's ID mail. That's what we want to get. Sorry, I mistakenly canceled the app. I'll run it again. It's supposed to be data.mail.meals of 0 dot ID. So whatever the ID is, ought to have refreshed. So if we click on learn more now, whatever the ID is, which is here, we want to respond to that dynamic input. So it's not just as simple as just making 5 number, because the ID is always different. So how do we do it? The first step is that we make a mail folder. Then when you want to indicate something dynamic, listen to me. When you want to indicate something dynamic, you put it in bracket. You can call this ID, you can call this slug, you can call this whatever. So I'm going to call this ID so that it kind of makes sense. So ID. So inside ID, what do we want to have? We want to have our page.js and page.svelte. So page.js and our plus page.svelte. So I want to say first of all, hi. See, now we're responsive to that dynamic anything. So it doesn't even have to be a number, it could be anything. anything, you see it still responds because that last part is always changing. So moving on, we want to have something similarly identical but with an obvious difference. So we're just going to copy it, paste. I'm going to come here. By the way, I'm going to leave this in the description. Look up a mail by ID. So here, we're going to paste that URL here. We're going to change this into backticks, remember, because there's a dynamic input. And remember, what do we say? We always put our HTTPS because that's going to give us problems that we don't know the answers to. So HTTPS, then this is where the dynamic value. But how do we get that? Well, whatever you called it is going to be in this object called parameters. So params dot whatever you call it, in this case ID. So that is going to get us that last part of the URL. It says mail null because we set it to anything, which is not, we don't want it to be anything. So if we refresh, let's check it. Let's send the request again. So come to mails, click on learn more. You see, we get that specific mail. Nice. So our page of Svelte and our page of Svelte here is almost still identical, but with a clear difference. Almost identical. So what we want to do is that we also want to export the data, console log the data if necessary. But what we just want to do is that we don't want to say learn more. We want it to say back. Back. And what we want to do there is I want to show more things, maybe the tags or something. So say tags. What is it? Data.mil. Mils. I know this thing is super confusing. Dot string tags. Copy. Maybe we might want to show the area. String area. And maybe we might even want to show a YouTube video link. So link. So we can say something like YouTube video link. Mil dot string u2. Save. How does it say YouTube link is undefined? Oh, so save. Okay, so we can come back now, visit the mails page, look at the mail, can tell you the tags, the area, and the YouTube video link. So some of them might not have YouTube video links. Okay, this one has. So that's it. You have built a mail application with Sveltekit from start to finish. So the last thing I want to talk about is the deployment. And let me explain how the deployment works. The deployment is super easy. You can deploy to any platform you want to deploy to. You can deploy to Netlify. You can deploy to Vercel. You can deploy to Cloudflare. Super easy. That is one thing in my experience. So if we come read the docs, and you can just come to the deployment section. I'll give the deployment a very good say because I have actually deployed to Netlify as a dynamic application to Netlify. So you just follow the commands here and you should be able to deploy to Netlify. Okay, that's that for that. I hope you really enjoyed the video. Please subscribe and like. Then tell me what and I'll catch you in the next one.